You win.
Standing by.
It's just it's going to be part of this whole thing because why fight it? You win. All right, we're on, and that means I get to do this.
Hey, hey, welcome to the show,
Woo!
Step into the spotlight. It's time for the
All
truth.
right, all right.
Leslie and
Thank you,
Jonathan
Dinah.
bring
Thank you,
the
Dinah. I don't know why I call her Dinah,
We
but
get the idea.
yeah, we ain't got a lot of time here today, my dear. So hey, welcome to the show with Leslie and Jonathan. And I wanted to, we'll get into it in a second, but I also want to say it's so important to take care of ourselves and to take the time to relax, to get away from it all. And Leslie, we don't have to say where you're going, but you're going on vacation.
Yeah, we're headed to a ski resort for a few days to go skiing and then up to see some family for the holiday. So it's getting us in the direction that we're ending up in, and it should be fun. We're excited. I mean, we're not huge skiers, but snowboarders and skiers, and well, hopefully we'll come out of it with no injuries.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of scared of skiing. I've only been uh, to an actual ski resort during the winter once in my life. And when I saw it, I was like, no, I'm going to do the cross country, with like the
Yeah,
snowshoe looking
yeah,
skis. It's
on
it's a
flat
flat
ground.
plane and you're just walking. And I was like, it's cold out. They've got hot toddies in
Yeah,
the
in the
lounge
lodge.
there. This has been fun. Bye, everybody. That was easy for me.
It's certainly a mindset, but yeah, we're looking forward to it. So,
I
but
I wouldn't call myself the skiing type.
you are a Floridian, so not
And
surprised.
and part-time New Yorker.
That's true. That's
I
true.
I don't mind the cold as long as I'm trying to get somewhere in it. I'm not just gonna stand in it all day on purpose.
Well,
Uh,
one of the days we'll go tubing, and that's when you just like toss yourself down a hill in a tube. So that's really fun too. So the
did
kids
you
like
hear
that.
what you just said? How is that fun?
Mhm.
It sounds like
It
something
just
the
is.
mob does when you break the rules. But no, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. You certainly
Thank
deserve
you.
it with how hard you guys all work
Thank you.
and enjoy that. Um, so as I said, like I'm not really the skiing type. What type would you say in the industry would I be considered?
Uh, what type would you be considered?
Let's
Do
say
you,
film TV.
okay. Do you want things like uh teacher, professor? You could be. You
I'll
could
take
be
it.
dad, neighbor, doctor, I
I'm
could
cool with all of
see.
that.
Yeah.
Because
I guess
typecasting is not a bad thing.
no, I don't
Typecasting
think
is a
so.
wonderful thing. And I had a client student lately who was like, I don't want to be typecast. And I said, my dear friend, you're focusing on the wrong word. You were cast.
Cast. Right. Don't forget about the type.
Right,
Whatever they
right.
want.
I mean, you were cast and they're going to type you. Typing you means they're going to kind of put you in a box. That's a good thing because that box means like hired. That's the hired box. And you want casting or producers to immediately recognize you as being perfectly believable, undeniably believable in that role. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
agree?
I do. I think maybe the only time that people want to avoid it is for like a young child actor. I think maybe that's when it hasn't worked out that well because as they get older and mature, if they were typecast as something, when they were younger, it's always hard to break out. And we've seen those cases over and over again, like in the true Hollywood stories. But at this level in an adult or teenager, something like that, I'm like, I won't worry about it. Take the job, do your best, and then worry about that later.
I mean, so I agree with you. Worrying about it later is important, but I say, even for kids, go ahead and be typecast because that means you're more hireable.
Sure.
And then once you reach a certain level of leverage, stardom, celebrity, then you can write your own ticket and do whatever you want. Look at Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
For a decade, he was Harry Potter, and then he did Equus on whether it was the West End or on Broadway, which is not like Harry Potter.
Right.
It's a classical play. Then he's playing the villain in that movie with oh from Speed. What's her name?
Sandra Bullock.
Thank you. Yeah, he played the villain in that like romance adventure comedy, who's not magical at all, but
Right.
he had to cut his teeth, pay his dues, so to speak, and become famous first in roles that he fits. Nerdy kid glasses, magical powers, fine.
Right.
Student.
Wizard. Right.
Right, right. As he grows, he's able to do different things. But if you never reach that level of stardom, if you're just looking for the next job, who cares? Book me. I'll be the teacher, the fast food clerk. If you want me to be the romantic lead, I'm not that. But if you want me to be that,
Right. That's what you
okay.
see.
Right. It's not that we can't do it. It's that if if we're seen as a certain type, that means it's working,
Right.
you know?
Right. Sure. And you learn over time what your type can be. I mean, and especially in every age and decade, you might be changing types. Like right now, I've been the mom for, a decade or two, or decade and a half, I would say. But soon as I get older, that's going to change. At some point, I'll be type as, the grandmother. It's going to be my type,
That's
you
hard to
know,
believe.
in 50 years.
I remember
Anyway,
I remember my very first commercial gig as dad. That was a really hard day. An easy gig, hard
yeah.
day. Before that, I was college student, rookie,
Yeah.
that kid. And then I get the Disney commercial. And they didn't tell me what role I was playing. I walked into this studio and one of the director people said, "Oh, the dad's here." And I swear to God, I go like this. Yeah, exactly. I go,
He is.
and they go, "It's you." I said, "Me? Yeah, you're the dad, right?" I said, "I don't think so. They didn't tell me what part I'm playing." And then the kids arrived. Those kids looked like me. Those kids looked a lot like me. They acted like me. Like the
Yeah.
younger one was all like spicy and feisty,
Yeah.
and the older one was very like, "Nice to meet you. I think I'll be playing your daughter today." And I was like, "This is weird," And then a nice lady showed up, and I'm like, "Oh, decent looking lady." She goes, "I'm your wife." I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this is gonna be a day." And so then we pretended to be on a Disney cruise ship all day, and Mickey and Donald and a couple of the chipmunks and some lady cow showed up, and we were doing the conga line, and it was a very trippy afternoon.
Yeah,
But
that's
that was my
funny.
first day. Yeah. Do you remember the first time you transitioned into a different type?
Um, well, I've gotten a couple of yes, yes. I do a lot of filming, as within UGC style, so user generated content style, and like, you see that age group inching up, and then once I hit perimenopause, now I'm doing the menopause roles. And so I know that's a touchy subject, but truthfully, I'm like, oh, I'm in that age group now. Got it. Okay. So
But
it
you learn to
happens.
rock it. You learn to rock
Sure.
it.
Absolutely. And I think, I'll continue to do that especially with UGC content. It would, as I get older, it's going to be a lot of supplements for joint pain. And Chad and I do a lot of erectile dysfunction ads. So we're getting those. I'm like, there are certain words that I'm not saying on camera.
What are some of
I
those
have
words?
rules. I don't allude okay, I won't go into it. But, there's certain, and like certain B-roll, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't, I've got a rep to uphold. Even though, look, I'm an actor. this is acting and stuff. But I don't know. For me, they're just things that I just don't want to do, and that's okay. I just say no.
Boundaries are
Yeah.
so important in this business because so often people pretend like they don't exist,
Yes. Right.
and they absolutely do.
Right. Or that you have to do, even though, so we'll get a script and it will say, I'll go back to them and say, can you change this? I don't want to say this, da, 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 da," and they do it. They change it. They're fine with it. So not everybody would be open to cutting their words and saying something different, but I don't know. It feels right for me. And I think that's how I kind of go about this. If it doesn't feel right for me, it's not going to look right anyway on camera. I'm going to feel
Bingo.
really uncomfortable. It's going to
Bingo.
look weird.
Yes.
So, and
I couldn't agree more. Go
let
ahead.
me say this other thing, because I have now I used to go on photo shoots and commercial gigs, et cetera, and be like, oh, that would be fun to like run a photo shoot or run a commercial or produce, and it is. But when I have to weigh the two, I'd rather be in front of the camera than behind it. It's a lot of a nicer experience and a little bit less, work.
It's a different kind of fun for sure.
For sure.
I think of it
Yes.
as producing, directing, because I've been directing a lot of commercials lately. I
Yeah.
think of it as containing a small explosion with your body. Um, it's going to benefit a lot of other people. It's going to damage you a little bit.
Right. You're gonna be flat on the ground, but
Right.
at the
Right.
end, you'll have protected a lot of people. It's
Right.
a good
Right.
analogy. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I know in your marketing work, you
Yes.
cast a lot of people for advertisements, whether it's voices or looks. I mean, looks, still shots, still shoots. There it is. I finally got it. Still shoots, video shoots. How does typecasting come in to play for you in that role?
Um, in my experience, I guess I don't know that it has. I mean, I guess it has. When I was casting the jewelry commercial, I was definitely looking for um this is a jewelry store that is on the coast of the state I live in, which I probably said before. But anyway, the vibe of the jewelry store, even though it's fine jewelry, is coastal. And the people in the commercial, actually, I don't know that I cast the right guy, because the girl, he did a great job. But the girl that I cast, she looked coastal. She is actually a surfer. She had this long blonde hair, and and she was of the right age group that we were going for. And so like I was like, oh yeah, she's actually perfect for this role, because this jewelry store really wants somebody who looks like it could be their customer, and she definitely could be. And the guy did great, but I guess if I was going with that vibe, maybe I would have picked a blonde or somebody who was like more like a beachy vibe. The guy I picked was more, I don't know. He didn't strike me as much as a coastal person as the female lead did.
Well, that might have been a
Um,
brilliant move though, because they do sell to other kinds of
They
people.
do, right. And the couple does not have to look alike. That was the other
Right.
thing.
It's
Sometimes I'd show up, but they would never put my husband and myself together in a commercial, very rarely, unless we booked it together. Like they always paired me with somebody who looked like me for some
which is
reason.
very
It's
strange,
so
right?
weird. Yeah, I guess maybe if they're putting kids together, I don't know, but I always would get a dark-haired husband, and not a
Yeah.
blonde husband. And he would always get a blonde wife and not a dark-haired wife.
I don't understand any
I
of that.
don't
They're like, well,
know.
these two don't look as good together. What do you mean? They've been married for 20 years. They've got two kids. Like I think they look great together. And it's not just the way they look together, it's the comfort
Yeah,
and the way they interact with each other. They've had
totally.
20 years of rehearsal for this. So
Totally.
maybe just go with it. Um,
Yeah.
so I think typecasting in film and TV is a little different than in commercial, but it's
Okay.
not that different. In film and television, if they're looking for, let's say, the nosy comedic neighbor lady
Yeah.
with attitude, if you book that, then that's information for you that you do a great job at that, right?
Yeah.
But I think actors should try to be one thing and promote that. What I don't think works as well is what I call the Cheesecake Factory approach, where you've been to the Cheesecake Factory. There's like 9 pages on the
Yeah,
menu,
it's a
and each
novel. Yeah.
right, and the type is like point 0.6 font or whatever.
Hmm.
It's like I don't know what I'm gonna have. Um, I think it's better for an actor to say, I am the noisy, nosy neighbor lady with attitude. That's what I do. So, whether it's this show, this commercial, that play, whatever it is, when you're looking for a nosy neighbor, that's me. And you start to build that character over time. So, every audition that you do, even if you're not, like, even if the role doesn't say nosy neighbor, you can still put some of that into the role you're auditioning for. Celebrities are typecast all the time. It's why we go to see them. Celebrities got type rich because we
Yeah.
pay to see them in the role that we know them for, or the roles that we know them for, right?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
You know how sometimes I will take my frustration out by making little videos and just
Videos.
posting
Yes.
them randomly around the internet.
When a video pops up of my text, I'm like, oh, Jonathan was upset about something. Let me watch.
Yep. I thought what we might do, and then we'll wrap this. You know what? I'll add it to the end because I don't want to keep you. I know that you've got your daughter has tutoring coming up.
Yes.
What are some ideas that you would have for somebody to discover what type they are?
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't know. What are some ideas? What do you think?
So, what I recommend is you talk to the directors, casting people, producers that have hired you in the past. Just shoot them a quick email, and I'm sure they would love to take 5 minutes and reply back with who they see you as. You can also talk to your friends. Just say, like, hey,
Yes.
you know me pretty well. How would you describe me? It's for an acting thing. Talk to your acting classmates. If you have an acting teacher, which you should, talk to her or to him. Get information from other people, but also watch TV, watch movies, watch commercials, and look at the roles that you think, oh, I'd like to play that, or I'd be good at that, or it reminds me of another role that I did.
Right.
That's going to help you decide or discover. And then also look at previous gigs that you've done.
What you book. Yeah, exactly.
Look at your demo reel. And if it's not very clear what your type is, then show it to somebody else and ask.
That's great advice. Two things. If somebody's ever told you, they remind you of, who you remind me of, that actor on that show. Okay, go watch what they've done because maybe your mannerisms are like that person or your look or something like that. So that could be helpful. And I was watching, I don't know if you know who Simon Sinek is. Do you know who Simon Sinek is?
I
He's
do.
Yeah, well, he was saying, and this really doesn't have anything to do with acting. It was talking about how people find their why,
Mhm.
and he called it the friend test. And he said, sit down with a good friend of yours and say, hey, why are we friends? And he goes, the person is going to go, is going to name, oh, you're this, and they're going to go, I don't know. All I know. Eventually, they're going to say, all I know is that when I'm with you, I feel like inspired, or when I'm with you, I feel that I feel like. At ease. And that's how that's your why. Okay, that's a value that I add to this person's life. That's my why. And so something like that, like you're saying, talk to your friends and kind of ask them, you know, those kinds of questions to get more feedback. It's very hard, I think. I have always had trouble, especially when I was younger, figuring out how I appeared to the world, like how do people perceive me? I didn't know until I actually started taking an acting class, watching myself on camera and going, oh, that's how I look when I say that word, or like, why am I making that face? Or, now it's a lot different. We're all on camera almost all the time because we're always filming ourselves. So you do have a sense, but if you're not sure who you are, it's a really good idea to self-reflect, take some time to do that.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid of the things. And this is my last little tip. And then we'll let Leslie begin her vacation. And I will, once you pop off to, your resorts.
I'm gonna ski on out of here.
Well done. I'll play that video that I put out there. And you guys will hear more of my just late night ramblings on typecasting. I think it's pretty poignant. But
What time did you make that video? Just curious.
oh, 2:30 in the morning
Okay.
when I had finished all my work. It was probably
Right.
2:30. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it wasn't
Curious.
2:30 yesterday morning. It was, I think,
Right.
like 2 days ago or whatever.
Yeah.
You see what I was wearing? Yeah, that was 2 days ago. But my last tip is this: don't be afraid to use things that are uniquely yours. For example, if you have an accent, so many people spend so much money trying to get rid of that accent. There might be times where, okay, that would be the appropriate move. But for film and TV, for the most part, instead of trying to get rid of it, lean into it. In fact, take some of the words in the script. Like if it says, if your line is great, change it to bueno. Make your character Hispanic if you're of Hispanic origin, because you ain't gonna fool anybody when you show up on set and you start speaking. So why not lean into that? Enjoy that. If you're a very dramatic person, then even in the comedic roles, find moments where you can really feel something deeply. It'll still be funny. It's written that way, but you can make it a little bit more dramatic, and vice versa. If it's a comedic role or comedic show, find the real deep, dark comedy in that. There's always a way to put you in that situation. Always.
Great
That way,
advice.
casting doesn't have to, thank you. That way, casting doesn't have to stretch to see you in that role. One of the things I even said in the video that I really liked, I said, if casting has to stretch to see you, they won't.
Yeah. It's true. You have to serve it to them on a platter. You got it.
Right,
You have to.
right.
It's just the way it is.
Right. So that's the show, everybody. Now on YouTube and soon to be, I think, on Apple Podcasts. So look for it there. And on YouTube, you can leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, do all the things you're supposed to do. But right now, what we're going to do is wish Leslie a very happy and safe vacation. And I'll see
Thank
you
you.
when you get back.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Leslie. And
Bye,
now
Jonathan.
stick around because I'm going to play this video for you guys. And I would love to hear your feedback on it. Oh, Leslie, you're
Am I
dismissed.
going?
You're good. Yes, you're good to go.
Goodbye.
You're good to go.
Leaving now.
Bye, Leslie. So I'd love to hear your feedback on it. This is me posting a video late at night about typecasting. And the only reason I shared is because I think there's some good points here. So here you go. Look at that guy. All right. I'm going to say something that actors, you hate to hear in the beginning. Here it is. You should want to be typecast. I know. I'm going to say it again. You should want to be typecast. Yes, typecast. That word you were trained to fear in some acting classes, usually right after someone said, "Show me your range." Here's the thing, okay? Casting does not want range. They want certainty. Casting directors are not sitting there thinking, wow, I hope this person surprises me with something that is wildly unexpected and something I don't think I need today. They're not thinking that. Now, they might welcome it if you do something really creative and applicable, they'll welcome it. But that's what you do. That's the choices that you make. The type that you are, the type of characters that you play, they want you to fit that. What they're actually thinking is, can I put this person in the box, close the lid, and sleep at night? Are my clients going to be happy? Does this person fit? Casting is not art camp. The whole idea, when it's done well, the whole idea is to mitigate the risk of hiring you. It's essentially risk management. Casting directors have a breakdown, they have a network, they have money on the line, they have clients, they have people who are above them who will be making the decisions. They're not the director of casting, they're the director of compiling choices to send to their client. And as much as I might hate that, I have to understand that that's the truth. And they'll take about 12 seconds to look at your face and decide if you solve their problem. And the problem is never, is this actor talented? The problem is, do I instantly believe this person as that role, that character? You know who works consistently and constantly? Actors who are a perfect fit. Not actors who can do everything. Actors who do one thing so clearly that casting doesn't have to imagine it. You don't book the job because you're versatile. You book the job because you're obvious. And I know that makes people uncomfortable because we like to think of ourselves as complex, multidimensional mysteries, artists. That's great. Be complex and multidimensional and whatever in your personal life. But in auditions, in casting, clarity wins. If every audition you submit or every callback you go into or room you go into requires a conversation like, okay, so here's what I could do with this, then you've already lost. If casting has to stretch to see you, they won't. They want an actor who turns on the camera or walks in the room and makes them go, oh, there it is. Yo, that's not limiting. That's power. Typecasting is not a prison. It's a doorway. It's how people know where to put you. It's how you get called back. It's how your name starts circulating without you even being in the room. You can expand later. Everyone does. But first, you need a foothold. And here's the part that nobody likes to admit. Most actors who say they don't want to be typecast, well, they don't actually know their type yet. You see, they're not being avoided because they're too specific. They're being avoided because they're too vague. So stop trying to show casting everything that you can do. Show them what you are undeniably good at. Because once you're castable, consistently, repeatedly castable, that's when you develop leverage. And in the end, you don't need to be everyone. You just need to be someone that casting can imagine in a role and trust with their clients and their reputation. So, the next time you see a breakdown that says, we'd like to see your range, whoever's saying that to you is either lying doesn't know how to communicate what they want, or is just plain wrong because they do not want to see your range, not of characters, honestly, not even of emotion. They want to see you. What, in 2 pages of dialogue, they're looking for the full spectrum of human emotion? No. They're not looking for that. And if they are, well, they're bad at their jobs. Instead, what they're looking for is the perfect fit for that set of sides, for those circumstances. And if they give you a second set of sides, then fine. You can be the same person experiencing a different set of circumstances. But it's the same person. And luckily for you, the person that you should be playing, the type that you should be presenting to casting, is the type that you already are. Yeah, so there it is. I would love to hear your feedback on that. Again, it's just a late night rambling of mine, but I think there are some really good points there. You don't book because you are vague. You book because you're the obvious choice. Hey, thanks for joining us here on this show. We wish Leslie a wonderful vacation, and we'll see you right back here on YouTube Live or Apple Podcasts next week. Until then, get out there, show them who you are, and don't be afraid to lean into what makes you, you. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.